Hi everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unpack the jargon to reveal what's really going on behind those official company reports. Today we've got Star Equity Holdings and their latest filing. And let's just say things are getting interesting with a big merger on the horizon. Think of it as a corporate handshake with a twist, and we're here to read all the fine print. Our company today is Star Equity Holdings, a player in various industries, often through acquisitions. They've been busy, and this report gives us a peek into their ongoing efforts, particularly concerning a significant merger agreement they entered into back in May with Hudson Global Inc. and its subsidiary Accession Merger Sub. This isn't just a minor update, it signals a major shift for Star Equity. The main point of this report, filed on August 14th, 2025, is to update everyone on a key step in this merger. Remember that big merger agreement we just mentioned? Well, Star Equity has officially appointed Computershare Trust Company as the exchange agent. So what does an exchange agent actually do in a situation like this? Think of them as the crucial middleman. Once this merger is approved by both companies' shareholders and the deal officially closes, Computershare will be in charge of handing out the new shares. Specifically, they'll be distributing shares of Hudson Common Stock and Hudson Series A Third Stock. It's all about making sure everyone gets what they're supposed to in exchange for their existing shares according to the terms laid out in that merger agreement. Now, here's a detail that might affect some shareholders. The deal is structured so that no one will receive a fraction of a share in the merger. If you're entitled to a small piece of a share that doesn't quite make a full share, you won't get that tiny fraction. Instead, you'll receive a cash payment for that fractional part. This cash payment will come from the sale of shares that would have otherwise been distributed as these fractional parts. Basically, they'll sell off these small fractions and give you your portion of the cash from those sales after any fees are deducted. So if you were expecting, say, a quarter of a share, you'll get a cash payout for that quarter share, determined by how those fractional shares are sold. The report also mentions when you can expect that cash. These payments for fractional shares are expected to be made by check fairly quickly after Computershare receives a proper confirmation from the Star stockholder. So it's not an immediate thing, but it sounds like they aim to process these cash in lieu payments pretty soon after the merger is finalized and all the paperwork is in order. Looking at the securities registered, we see Star's common stock trading on the Nasdaq Global Market under the symbol STRR. They also have Series A Cumulative Perpetual Preferred Stock, also on Nasdaq with the ticker STRRP. There's also mention of Series C participating preferred stock, though it seems less actively traded or detailed in this particular filing compared to the common and Series A preferred. This indicates Star Equity is a publicly traded company with shares available for investors to buy and sell on a major stock exchange. These are the assets being exchanged in the merger, so understanding their role is key to grasping the overall transaction. Now, as with most of these filings, there's a section dedicated to what they call forward-looking statements. This is standard legal language. Basically, they're telling you that anything in this report that talks about the future, like when the merger will be completed, how the combined company will operate, who will be in charge, or where the new company will be listed, is based on their current best guesses and assumptions. They're warning that things might not turn out exactly as they predict because various risks and uncertainties could change the outcome. Think of it this way, they're trying their best to give you an idea of what's planned, but they can't guarantee the future. Many things could go wrong or change the plans, and they want to make sure you know that. And when they talk about those risks, they are pretty extensive. Some of the biggest concerns are whether the conditions for closing the merger will actually be met. This includes getting approval from both Star and Hudson's shareholders. They also point out uncertainties about the timing of the deal and whether they'll get all the necessary approvals from government bodies. There are also risks related to managing expenses while the merger is pending, and the possibility that the market value of Star stock might not align with the value they're assuming in the merger's exchange ratio. Plus, there's the potential for unexpected costs and downsides from the transaction itself, and whether the combined company can actually run smoothly after the merger. They also risks related to managing expenses while the merger is pending, and the possibility that the market value of Star's stock might not align with the value they're assuming in the merger's exchange ratio. Plus, there's the potential for unexpected costs and downsides from the transaction itself, and whether the combined company can actually run smoothly after the merger. This is why they stress not to put too much faith in these future predictions, as they're based on current information and could change dramatically. They also explicitly state that they won't be updating these statements unless there's a significant change in their expectations or the underlying situation. This section usually covers who is encouraging shareholders to vote on the merger. Star Equity and Hudson along with their management and directors, are considered participants in this process. They've already filed relevant information about their directors and officers with the SEC in previous reports, and more details about who might be influencing the vote and their interests are available in a registration statement and a joint proxy statement. Prospectus that were made available to shareholders. It's important to understand that this current report is not the main document for shareholders to make their voting decisions. They emphasize that this report isn't a replacement for the more detailed registration statement or the proxy statement, prospectus, which contain all the crucial information needed for shareholders to decide how to vote on the merger. They really want to make sure shareholders are fully informed. They urge investors and stockholders to carefully read all these other documents when they become available, because those are the places with the really important details about Star, the merger, and everything related to it. And where can you find all this important information? The SEC's website is the primary source. They make all these filings publicly available, so anyone can access them for free. So what's the big takeaway here? Star Equity Holdings is making concrete progress on its merger with Hudson Global. The appointment of an exchange agent is a significant operational step that brings the deal closer to reality. While the language is heavily legal and cautious, the underlying message is that the companies are moving forward with the integration. Shareholders should pay close attention to the upcoming votes and the official proxy materials for the full picture. The risks mentioned are standard for these large transactions, but worth noting, particularly around shareholder approvals and integration execution. I think Star Equity is making a bold move here, and the success will hinge entirely on how well they integrate Hudson Global and realize those anticipated benefits they've spoken of. The market will be watching to see if the combined entity can indeed operate more strongly, as is always the hope with such mergers. Alright, that's our breakdown of Star Equity Holdings' latest filing. What do you think about this merger? Are you a shareholder, and what are your concerns or hopes? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this analysis helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more decoding of corporate secrets. And don't forget to join our Discord community for even more discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.